I am a flathead fisherman at heart. It's probably one of the fish that drive me crazier than any other. Um, Important thing about fishing for flatheads, the most important aspect of it is bait. Um, I'm a live bait fisherman for the most part. I do use cut bait. And I use a lot of bait. Got a bait tank, run it with a pond filter. It works pretty good. Nothing special, low budget deal. I bought the tank for, $10 at Goodwill. Bought a $40 filter, pond filter. I got a video about that from way back on the channel, so you can look it up and just search on filter on the channel search, and you'll see that. I still use that to this day. Change the filter material around a little bit, but that's besides the point. Ever since I saw this product on Spencer's River Certified channel a while back, I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, that he was testing it for them back in the day when he was a pro staff for them, or a sponsored angler, I believe is what it was. I don't know for sure, so if I'm wrong, forgive me. I wanted it bad, and it came out, I think, roughly about a year ago, maybe, give or take a few months. And I was excited to hear it was coming out, and it came out. They had pre-orders out and stuff, and then I went on a site and I looked at the price. I was like, wow, kind of hit pretty hard. Right now, the regular price is up there. We'll talk price at the end, but I thought it was a deal, and I wanted it worse than I didn't want to spend the money, I guess, is how I weigh my options whenever making purchases. And so I ordered it this week, and I got it in a couple days ago, and here it is. The Whisker Seeker Bait Shack, I believe it's called. I haven't pulled it out of the box. I did just cut this open just now, so I wouldn't be doing it on camera. So let's open her up and take a look at what's in the box. You guys are getting a first look, like at the same time I am, if you haven't seen it before. So there we go. We got her open. There's some packing material. It's packed with some styrofoam. You know what? I could use this for some jig strips. I'm going to hold on to this. We'll just throw this out here. I'm on my boat, by the way, folks. I figured this would be a cool place to film the video. I can sit down. I got a nice place to set this. It's wrapped in plastic. Pull this out real quick. Yep, handle. All right. Fairly simple packaging. It's got some styrofoam in the bottom, some thin stuff. I'm going to use this for my jig stuff. So bonus. Okay, this doesn't make me too loud. Just threw that off the side of the boat. It's wrapped in some clear plastic to protect it. All right. Handle's got a little bit of foam on it as well. We'll take that off later. I want to cut that off so I can use that for my jigs and stuff. See, just a clear plastic bag. We'll get this out of the boat too. Hopefully I won't hit my heater. Alright, let's take a look at this. Here it is. It's fairly big. We'll get the dimensions and stuff. I pulled it up on the website. It's got their logo on the front apparently. Well, not apparently, it does. There we go. With their robotic catfish on there. Alright, let's talk about the feel of it. For some reason I'm expecting, or I was expecting, more of a material, this to be made out of more of a like a Yeti material, Yeti cooler material. It feels a little more pliable. Doesn't mean it's bad or anything. It's just not what I expected. It's a little softer. I imagine it'll scratch up, but that's no big deal. It's susceptible for scratches. Only time will tell. The feet, the feet on the bottom, rubber feet, which is good. Keep it from sliding around in the boat. They appear to be removable. Oh, look at this. On the back, there's a drain. I just noticed this. I didn't realize that had that in there. Why don't we twist off drain? Oh, quick release. See that? It's just like half a twist. Hopefully this won't leak. I imagine it's an O-ring. So here, let me show you. Just twist it. Pops open and drains. That'd be nice. I could set that right here on the back of the boat and drain it right into the water off the back. That'll be kind of nice, rather than having to lift the whole thing up. It looks like it's got two connection. Interesting. Oh, it looks like there's strap hooks for it too. These also appear to be latches to pull the handle out. So you pull these strap hooks out, the ones I just showed you. And I'm guessing these handles come out if you turn it. I'm not going to be pulling this apart just yet. Alright, that came out and went in kind of easy, which is good. Let's take a look at the top of this. Solar panel. We'll get the stats on that here soon too. I believe they're on the site. And then there's a control panel. Let's see if you guys can see that. There you go. Make sure you're in focus. There's the logo on both sides. I like Whisker Seekers. I like their logos and stuff, but I might be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about putting a Kentucky Fried Chicken big old sticker on there. It's my cooler paid for. I'll do what I want, I guess. Let's see what it says on the top of this here. Looks like there's power levels. There's an on-off button. Oh, look at that. It's fully charged. Come out of the box. There's 3 aerators on here. Hit the power button once, it looks like. The indicator shows that there's one light on. Hopefully you can see that. Hit it again. It looks like the light goes on underneath the number 2. One more time, it goes on number 3. And from the progression of the volume, the progression in volume, it sounds like that's 1 aerator, 2 aerator, 3 aerators. There's also a charging port here for charging. I don't know for sure, but I hope it's got a 12-volt charge. On the bow of my boat, I got a 12-volt port for a bait station that goes up there. That'd be cool if I can keep this right up there on the front and plugged in. They say this thing opens both ways. All right, I haven't opened it yet. This is the first time opening it. It looks like there's 2 latches on each side. Oh, look at that. Simple enough to open. We'll try the front side here. You just kind of pull this, and it opens up. Look at that. Haven't even looked inside. Let's see the back one. Back one just as easy. So it'll open front to back. Doesn't matter which way it's facing, which is cool. Oh, you pull them both. Look at this. And the whole top comes off. That would be cool for cleaning. Most definitely. Alright, you know what? I'm going to take the lid off of here. Oh, this might even have been good to show you guys the control panel. Give you a slow look at that. Here's the underside. Rubber gasket it appears to be. Feels pretty good. I'll make sure to keep that pliable with some sort of material. Something. There's 3 connections for 1, 2, 3 aerators. Imagine that's what it's for. So I'm going to set this aside, and we will see what's inside here. More plastic wrapping. Alright. It appears to be tied off, so I'm going to tie this real quick without ripping it. Oh, on the inside of this, might as well talk about this. There looks to be like a strip thermometer in here. Temperature is really important in the heat of summer when you're live bait fishing. So that's a good way of keeping it. It is insulated, so I imagine it's going to keep water cold. I don't see why, like a plastic pop bottle filled with water and frozen wouldn't keep the temp even cooler, which will work good. But you got to be careful. If you got the bait water too cold and you're throwing it in a hot water or a hot river or lake or something, you can shock the fish that way too, just the opposite way. So you want to make sure to be gentle with your bait. All right, finally got this open. Sorry about the wait. Let's see what's in here. This appears to be like a bait net that drops in there. That being, I got things like this on my Frabo. Will I use it? I don't know. I might. Here we go. It's a bait net that fits in here. How tight does it fit? It's not as tight as I thought it would be, but it'll work. It does kind of block the view of the thermometer. Let me show you that strip thermometer that's in there. Hopefully you guys can see it in the back there. There you go. I don't know if you can read it, but basically it's one of those strip thermometers that'll give you the temperature. There's 2 of them, one in Fahrenheit, one in Celsius, with their logo, and it says Bait Shack thermometer on there. Nothing else in there. Smooth finish inside. It's gray just like the outside. So, fairly smooth. So it'd be easy to clean. That's pretty important. Like I showed you guys already. Let's see how this is put together. Let me take a closer look at this neck insert, I'm going to call it. Alright, there's angle pieces holding it together. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. And I just kind of tug on them a little bit, see if they pull apart. They do not. They have not, so that's good. Good sturdy construction. Pretty solid, pretty heavier gauge. Probably some sort of PVC type material, some sort of plastic, ABS maybe. But very, 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 very little flex, if anything, to it, which is good. You don't want to bend these so it doesn't fit whatsoever inside. That's good. Here's another package of bubble wrap here. Let's see what's in here. I imagine it's the charging cord, but we'll find out once we get it open. Oh, there's more packing material around that. Let's see what we got in here. First, styrofoam type bag. Oh, it's sealed. Alright, no way around it. I gotta tear this open. Alright, here's your air stones, your normal air stones, the bulb ones. I got just got an idea for another video. 3 of them in the one bag, so that's good. This does have a little kink to it. If you guys know, sometimes kinked hoses aren't good. It's hard to get the kinks out, but it's not impossible. I got a bunch of tubes. This tubing seems pretty pliable off the bat. Your standard aquarium tubing, it looks like, except maybe a little more pliable. It is cold in my garage too, so that might have something to do with it. So if that's a problem, I'll make her shorter or something, but I don't see it being that big a problem. Here's another package. I imagine this is the charger. It is. It's got a USB cord to charge. There you go. With maybe a 10mm connector on the end. That's me just guessing. I don't know. But there you go. Look at that focus on that camera. Also, it comes with, there's one more thing wrapped in here. Normal plug-in adapter for USB. Plugs into your wall. It's an American plug. Alright, so that's everything that came with it except, oh wait, one more thing. We got the solar powered Bait Shack owner's manual. I imagine there isn't anything on here that I can't figure out, but we'll take a look at it. It's got the product features, instructions, precautions. Not for use in places with flammable materials. To avoid burning out the solar circuit board, only use original charger provided. Operating this product with other chargers will void warranty. When charging this product with the charging cable, make sure all charging components are dry. Do not charge if charger port is wet, which is why it has a seal over it, which is good. While this product is protected from exposure to rain and water, it cannot be submerged in water. Do not sit or stand on the solar or switch panel to avoid damage to your cooler. Alright, don't sit on it, Mark. That's what it's telling me. Don't stand on it. It is recommended to charge the battery every 3 months when not in use. Oh, that's another thing. It's a lithium battery. Lithium batteries, you can't let them go totally dry or discharge all the way down. It can cause problems. I've ran into them before without getting into too many details. So I got the instructions. That's everything here. Let me take a look here. Like I said, it's got the cover for the charging port right there. Good deal. Not that it's important that I show you. It's got some cautions on here. Air pump modes. Number 1, power saving mode. Number 2, normal power mode. Number 3, extra power mode. I'll be using number 3 quite a bit. Hopefully that won't burn it off quick, because this thing wasn't cheap. Alright, we'll talk about price here in a minute. I'm going to get the specs up off the site here. I've got it ready, just got to unlock my iPad. We can go over them real quick. Alright, solar powered Bait Shack. Well, that's one of another big reason that I bought it for. When I go on my trips or whatever, if I can leave it in the boat, if there isn't anywhere to plug, at least it'll gain some juice back or some charge back from the sun. I'm not a big green guy, but I am into conservation. I'm not throwing garbage in the waters. I'm not wasting electricity, gas, any of that stuff. Just common sense, decent person, I guess is what I'm saying. 3 power levels, we already went over that. I just read them here. It says the same thing on the website, except it goes into a little more detail. It says power level 1, battery savings mode, like it says right on the unit, runs 1 pump intermittently in 30-second intervals to extend battery life. So that's something I didn't realize. So basically it'll run, stop, run, stop, run, stop. Power level 2, normal power mode. So if you're running it normal, you want to select power level 2. Runs 2 pumps constantly until battery power is depleted. Interesting. Power level 3, extra power mode. Runs 3 pumps consistently until battery power is depleted. Alright, 2 and 3 make sense. Why they only have the one option for number 1 for it being intermittent, it's what it says here on the site, at least on the bullet points that I'm looking at. That the 1 pump will just run intermittently, and you can't just have 1 pump run constantly. I don't know. Probably not that big a deal. If I'm using this for minnows, which I probably will, since I can power it up or keep it plugged in the front of my boat, not that I'll need it with 10 hours of runtime, I will use that for minnows. It doesn't have to be filled all the way up, but it's good to have. I got a Fraybill right over here that I use, a smaller one with a Fraybill lithium-powered rechargeable aerator, which runs forever. That's a good job too. Maybe I'll do another video about that. We can talk about bait management or something in the near future, so look forward to that. Probably a good idea. Detachable lid. Grab it from any direction. I kind of showed that to you. It was kind of self-explanatory. Real easy to operate. I'm surprised that the 2-sided opening works. As not surprised, but I'm happy to see that the 2-sided opening works as effortlessly as it does. Here we go. Look at this. Look how simple. I just pull it up. It's like a refrigerator latch. Closes pretty good. Give it a little hit on the top. Get it to close tight all the way. All right. Let's see. Detachable lid we just went over. Removable pull net, which is what I showed you. Seems pretty sturdy. It doesn't seem like it's made out of material that's going to bend into form, which is a good thing, because once you get it to form, getting it back into shape to fit in there snugly would be difficult. Here's the specifications. All right, charging voltage, 5 volts DC. So it's got a 5-volt charger. This is a 5-volt block. Obviously, 5 volts is usually, I wonder what the amps are on the cord. Probably 2 amp max. If you wanted to get a higher amperage, it would have to have, I believe, a USB-C charge, which it doesn't. It's that the charger appears to be 10 millimeters. Don't correct me, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know for sure. Lithium-ion battery capacity. It's a 20,000 mAh. That's a big battery. I got 20,000 mAh power banks or power bricks, whatever you call them, and they last forever. I mean, I can charge my. I have a set of headphones and ear pods that I charge upstairs in my bedroom off of one of those, just because where I keep them in the drawer. I don't want to run a power cord. Make long story short, and I can get like 30 charges out of 20,000 mile for headphones and AirPods. So capacity, volume. All right, here's the important part. When I go bait fishing, I always bring 5-gallon bucket. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. There's my KFC bucket right there. I got a short on my channel about me making that. That's my chicken bucket that I put my bait, because everybody uses chicken for bait. I use bluegill, so I figure, hey, I'm going to make myself a KFC bait bucket. That's 5-gallon bucket. I usually fill that up to like 3.5, 4 gallons, and that's enough for a bait run. This at this size, it's obviously a little heavier than a regular 5-gallon bucket. I did win a Yeti bucket. I don't know if I'd pay for one, but now that I have one, I might. That bucket's badass. I don't know how else to say it. It might weigh comparable to the Yeti loadout bucket, maybe a little bit more. We'd have to get a scale out to do that, and we're not prepared to do that. Holds 21 liters. That's 22 quarts or 5.5 gallons. That'll keep a night's worth of flathead bait, maybe even 2 nights alive, no problem. I plan on taking this when I go channel catfishing this spring for sure. I think it'll be good just because of the insulation and because I'm going to be camping. The solar panel will help keep the battery charged and topped off. External dimensions. It's 18 and a half tall, no, 18 and a half wide by 12 inches deep and 13 inches tall. So it's comparable to a, you know what? Yeah, it's comparable, a little bit longer than a 5-gallon bucket. I'm holding it here on its side just to get a comparison in my head to a 5-gallon bucket. Pretty close. Probably more about the dimensions or closer to a 6-gallon bucket. Those of you who ice fish know what a 6-gallon bucket is. Those make really good seats. That's like the perfect height. But anyways, that's another thing. I won't be sitting on this. At least I won't. There's the external dimensions. Internal dimensions, it's 16 by 10 by 9 on the inside. Air pumps, 3 pumps. Solar panel power. Now, this is important. It says 4 watts. So I believe that this can convert up to 4, or convert sunlight into up to 4 watts of power. It's not saying here, but if you know anything about solar, that's always the max that they list. So if you got a cloudy day, you may only be getting 1 watt that's charging the lithium battery on board. Spring-loaded drain port, we looked at that already. It goes through the power levels again, and it says it's salt water safe. Now let's talk about the price. That's an important one. Everything's getting more expensive these days. I understand that. I understand why, for political reasons. We all know what those are. Whether you think it's one person's fault or something else's fault, I have my beliefs. We won't get into that here. When it first came out, I saw the price was $300. Wow, or $295, I should say. I think that's what it was. That's a lot of money to spend on a aerator, even though there's 3, the solar panel, the lithium battery. I guess you're getting a lot, and a cooler. I guess that makes sense that it would be assumed at that, but it's still a lot of money to dish out when I've been using a 5-gallon bucket without any problems for the longest time, for years and years and years. The hassle with the 5-gallon bucket would be having to switch out the water if it got too hot. An aerator will warm water. If you're pumping air in there all night, it'll raise the temperature a little bit. Thin walls of a bucket dissipates and absorbs heat. It absorbs heat from the outside. It's the way physics works. I don't make the rules. I just try to follow them here. Excuse me. $300 is a lot. I got an email earlier this week, or at the end of last week, I should say. Today's the day after Thanksgiving, by the way, with their Black Friday sales. It said $100 off. Oh, ooh, boy. So I went and I pulled the trigger. Also, they also gave me a $25, I believe it was $25 gift card. They do that a lot during their Black Friday sales at Whisker Seekers. So that $25, figure take that off of here. So I'm thinking $175. Shipping was free. Obviously, you got to pay taxes. I don't remember what the taxes were. So I'm considering this out the door at $175 on their Black Friday sale. That's still quite a bit of money for a bait shack or a bait cooler or whatever. But the amount of flathead fishing I do, the amount of bait fishing that I plan on doing, as far as not really so much crappie, but some walleye fishing later, with some walleye chubs and stuff, or suckers. I will be putting this to good use. Again, I am going to that magic place, channel catfishing. I got a trip coming up, a second trip that I'm going to keep close to my chest, that this is going to come in handy too. So it was time to buy. The price was right. The time was right. I won't be using this all year. So I won't be using it all winter, I should say. Unless I get out and do a little crappie fishing before this is all said and done with minnows, but I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. All right, so these are the kind of videos I'm going to do for my fishing life. This is part of it. Scored a Black Friday sale over at Whisker Seekers. They got a lot of other stuff on sale. I might go, when I go in a house, I might pull a trigger on some catfish and carp rods. I got one now. I really like it. Great, in my opinion, they're awesome channel cat rods. They make big channel cats a lot of fun. I just need to make up my mind on whether I'm going to get spinning or casting. I'll probably get spinning. Pair them up with some Piscifun reels. That's another thing I got to do, is see if they're on Black Friday sale. I like those Carbon X's. Those are the only Piscifun reels that I own. I think it's a cheap alternative. Not as good, but a cheap alternative to the Stratics that I love dearly. I don't think I need a Stratic for any type of fishing where the combo sits in a rod holder. The reason I would spend that kind of money on a reel, now I'm off on a tangent, this happens all the time, would be when I'm constantly casting. So when I'm casting baits, light jigs, or whatever, I like to use those Stratics for that kind of fishing. For the kind of fishing I plan on doing with those rods, if I pick them up, would be sitting in a rod holder, whether that's pulling light boards or dragging behind. They should work too. They got a lot of other stuff on sale over the Whisker Seekers. I always buy something from them every year Black Friday. I've done a few reviews of Whisker Seeker stuff on my site. I like their stuff quite a bit. I like the colors, stuff like that. I like the anglers that they support. I'm friends with a few of them, or at least acquaintances with a few of them. So other than that, I don't know anybody else over there. So I want to thank you for watching my fishing life. Again, if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. We're going to try and knock out videos like this and just about fishing, everyday stuff on the channel, whether it's out on the water or here in the garage, or I got a couple ideas for a couple of other things. So I appreciate you here. I appreciate your time. And I hope this looks good. I'm filming this on my big camera. So if you could let me know down in the comments how this looks, I'd appreciate it. It's a little dark in my garage, so hopefully it looks great. Again, thank you, folks. I appreciate you. And we'll see you some. Today's Friday, day after Thanksgiving. Probably going to take the weekend off. So hopefully we'll see you again on Monday. So set your notifications. All right, folks. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Get out there and fish.